Is Glen Powell essentially the new Pedro Pascal? Maybe. Is he constantly delivering excellent performances? Yes. Should you watch How to Make a Killing? Let's talk about that. I'll be honest, I had never even heard of this movie until just the other day when I was looking through the AMC app to see which movies I should be watching to review, and then I stumbled upon this one. And when I saw that it was starring Glen Powell, I thought to myself, okay, well, at least I know I'm going to be getting a charming performance, so let's go ahead and try this one out. What I didn't expect was to see a movie about killing your own relatives in order to inherit a multi-billion-dollar fortune to feel so entertaining and, dare I say, slightly understandable? I would never do it. I am not condoning violence, but I'm just saying the way they portray the family members in this movie, you do feel a slight bit of So in that regards, they did a great job giving the audience reason to feel empathy for this guy who is a killer. But then again, it does seem like sometimes people don't mind a killer. Just look at Luigi. People really like that guy, and he straight up murdered somebody. So in this film, Glen Powell is playing a guy named Becket, whose mother was part of an extremely wealthy family, but then she got disowned. However, she tells her son that he is going to eventually be in line to inherit this fortune. Realizing how mediocre his life is and how awful the people that are standing to get this fortune really are, he decides, okay, let's do something about it. And he sets out on that mission to prune some of those branches on that family tree. This movie has a very, very excellent cast. You've got Glen Powell, Margaret Qualley, who brings a very sort of Marilyn Monroe 60s femme fatale kind of vibe. I really thought she was awesome. You've also got Jessica Henwick, Ed Harris, Bill Camp, Topher Grace. I loved this cast. This cast was surprisingly excellent. Every time a new face showed up, I was like, oh, I didn't know that guy was going to be there. And I really enjoyed the fun caper style that this movie has to it. There is kind of an Ocean's 11 vibe going on here. You feel like you're watching a crime be planned out, like a caper, and actually executed. So you do feel like you're getting insight into what his thought process is with these kills. And I found myself wondering just how he was going to take each of these family members out. It was a little bit intriguing. It's kind of like Dexter in a way too. Dexter and Ocean's 11, if they combined, it would be something like this movie. And at 1 hour and 45 minutes, this movie has a very brisk pace and it does not outstay its welcome. It just feels like a very easy to consume movie. Glen Powell has yet to let me down with any of his performances. He may not always star in great movies, but he never is a problem in the movies that he's been in. And recently he just starred in that remake of The Running Man. This guy did a great job in that movie. If you didn't see that movie, I recommend you check that one out. I think it kind of went under the radar, but Glen Powell knows how to deliver the goods. He can do comedy. He can also do action. He's got that charm that is just really easy. It is no wonder that he keeps showing up in more and more things, and he really is. I do say that he is starting to seem like Pedro Pascal because he is in a lot of stuff lately. Honestly, the vibe that I get from this guy in Hollywood and just the general perception, his roles that he's been taking, I am getting like a younger Tom Cruise vibe, that America's sweetheart vibe. And when I say Tom Cruise, I am talking younger, not the current Scientology Tom Cruise that actually has really gained everyone's love back, I think, with the Mission Impossible movies. I really thought Margaret Qualley was quite a standout in this movie. I did not like her character. I really loathed her because she is very much one of those women that are in the room and they're secretly controlling the room. It feels like she's playing that kind of a character, and she does it really, really well. She really irked me. She made me very annoyed most of the movie, but that was a brilliant performance for sure. This is not a very deep movie. This movie wears its intentions right on its sleeve. What you see with this movie is what you get. You're not going to be reading deep into the mythology or the story behind this movie. Throughout this film, we are narrated by Glen Powell's character, and I think that that approach makes it so that it's easier to connect to his mindset. So we are kind of being involved in a way in his plans that he is executing to take care of these family members. So I do think that that approach kind of made it a little bit easier to relate and understand what he was going through and think through his mindset. Like I said, it has that Ocean's 11 vibe where you're watching this caper be planned, and I think that the narration from Glen Powell really did add that extra depth of personal touch to the movie. This is a really fun film. I just think it's a very easy breeze. Glen Powell has yet to disappoint me. This is yet again another charming performance from him. This man, I think think he's underrated as a comedic actor. Did you guys see Chad Powers? If you've not seen Chad Powers, that is an excellent comedic performance from Glen Powell. And I think he's, he does have that comedy chops. He does a lot of action movies, so I think people tend to think of him as like this action role, maybe the heartthrob, but he knows comedy really, really well. I couldn't really find much to fault with this film. I mean, sure, some of it is probably slightly unrealistic. I don't think this guy would really get away with as much stuff as he does get away with in this movie. But overall, this is just a really enjoyable time at the cinemas. This feels like peak popcorn flick status, all right? This is that movie that you go into with low expectations and you end up feeling wowed by this easy to consume piece of content. This is very much one worth checking out. If you're into crime capers or if you're into comedies, this is not going to waste your time. Go see this at a matinee maybe. I wouldn't spend a lot of money to watch it. You could probably wait if you're going to spend too much, but it's going to be very entertaining to you. I think you're going to like it. If you guys saw it, go ahead and put your thoughts on it in the comments. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to hear more things from me, subscribe to this channel. Later.